has hit Ukraine's capital with a drone and missile attack in Kyiv, killing 9 people, injuring more than 70 others as peace talks stall. President Trump blames Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky for prolonging the killing.
I think we have a deal with Russia. We have to get a deal with Zelensky.
Ukrainian officials have balked at the U.S. proposal, calling for Ukraine to accept Russia's territory gains, banning it from joining NATO, and a possible recognition of Crimea as Russia's. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he's been ready for a ceasefire, while he, European, even U.S. officials have said Russia has shown little interest in that. Zelensky wrote, quote, "It has been 44 days since Ukraine agreed to a full ceasefire and a halt to strikes. This was a proposal from the United States, and it's been 44 days of Russia continuing to kill our people."
Fox's Rich Edson at the White House, where the president may talk more about that war with Norway's prime minister today. He's a NATO ally. They may also talk trade after the president suggested he may at some point work out a deal to lower tariffs on China. Democratic attorneys general in 12 states have filed a lawsuit trying to block the tariffs. They claim the president is imposing them unlawfully, exceeding his constitutional authority. Now, there's the concern about President Trump's policies in a new Fox News poll.
He's struggling on the economy overall with a 38% approval rating. On tariffs, it's even lower at 33%, and his handling of inflation also at 33%. Many Americans believe that the tariffs are inflationary or will be inflationary.
Fox Business Network's Lauren Simonetti. Now, just minutes ago, Trump Truth Social Post touted the gas and grocery prices are way down, just like he said they would be. Overall, in that poll, 44% approve of the overall job the president's doing. This down 5 points from the prior Fox poll. People lined up again in Rome to pay their respects to Pope Francis.
He was very kind, and it's very emotional.
It's the second of 3 days of public viewing of the Pope's casket. America's listening to Fox News.
What up, fellow Gen Xers? Elizabeth Banks here. As the original Latchkey kids, we took things into our own hands, like house keys and video game controllers. And now it's time for us to do it again, because the recommended age to get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. We're at over 6 times greater risk compared to adults under 50. So go to vaxassist.com and schedule. Gen X, this is our shot. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in focus and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
2815 Old Jacksonville, Springfield. CordellCordell.com.
President Trump, who's wanting to dismantle the Department of Education, signed 7 more executive orders wanting to change policies, including artificial intelligence instruction. He wants more of that in schools, and the president wants to change something in higher education.
Third parties, not the federal government, grant accreditation to colleges and universities. But an executive order from President Trump aims to shift the focus away from so-called woke ideology. The order directs the Education Department to hold accreditors accountable through denial, suspension, or termination of accreditation recognition for poor performance or violations of civil rights laws. Administration officials say accreditors have failed to ensure quality for college degrees. Accreditation is required for institutions to access tens of billions of dollars in federal student loans and Pell Grants. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
A wildfire near the Jersey Shore is more under control. Firefighters now have it half contained after it burned more than 13,000 acres in Ocean County.
The biggest difference today is that smoke. We're really noticing it. The winds have died down, and the smoke is just sitting here on us, stagnant. It's harder to breathe, and it's harder to see.
Fox Weather's Katie Byrne near a warehouse that was torched. No homes have been damaged. On Wall Street, stock futures are down more than 200 points for the Dow. The day after the Dow's 419-point gain, the Nasdaq surged up 407. In the NBA playoffs, the defending champions Celtics win again. Boston beat Orlando 109-100, led by Jaylen Brown's 36 points to take a 2-0 series lead. Cleveland's also up 2-0 on Miami.
Mitchell looking to settle things down. Restores order with a big-time 3.
Donovan Mitchell scored 30 points, leading the Cavaliers, the top seed in the East, to 121-112 win on FanDuel Sports Network. Cleveland. Houston beat Golden State 109-94 to tie that series 1-1. In hockey's playoffs, Dallas, Washington, and Los Angeles won. Tonight, the NFL goes prime time, round 1 of the draft. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois awarding $30 million worth of grant funds to help revitalize commercial corridors and downtown areas throughout the state. They say the grant funding used for construction, repair, and the modernization of public infrastructure and amenities to boost jobs, quality of life, and stimulate economic activity. Police investigating after an Urbana man found beaten in Champaign. He was found lying on the roadway in the 2500 block of West Springfield Avenue, then taken to the hospital in stable condition. Police believe an unknown person battered the victim, then fled before officers arrived. So far, no arrests have been made. Champaign City Council just gave the green light to buy Chase Bank in downtown Champaign. The price tag, just under $6 million. City leaders say the current city building overcrowded. Some employees are working in departments that aren't theirs. The deal includes about $3 million for the building, $25,000 in closing costs, and almost $3 million in renovations. And that's what's happening. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Joe Miller.
Yeah, just a reminder, a week from today is May.
I know it.
Oh, Johnny, a week from today is May.
Well, I can take April, May. Look at this weather, Steve.
Man.
No, it's gorgeous.
Man, oh, man, oh, man. I don't know, Solier, as we grow older and the earth keeps spinning, it spins, I don't know what to tell you, except it's Matt had texted in, and I'd never quite heard, the longer you live, the littler this time is, and so instead of dates, I just try and track months.
From a relative standpoint.
Yeah, from a relative standpoint.
Correct.
When you're 8 and you have a birthday party, that's a big deal.
But I can say firsthand, Mr. Solier, that this weather is well-earned because, man, it was killing me.
Which reports from the coffee shop there in downtown?
Well, we're all happy
some
now.
progress?
The guys are going to be hammer to the, what is it?
Pedal to the metal.
Pedal to the metal. Hammer down on the corner.
Yeah. So
they're all be going mud flying. We're back.
Yeah, they're planting.
McKay Wireless, sunshine.
Yeah, they can go days at a time, but if you have an operation, 3 of you are planting 5,000 acres. That takes a minute now.
Well, you gotta have your window. You can't. No burning daylight, and forget daylight. They're out there at night.
Yeah. I know it. I've seen it.
But they got lights, so they can see the roads.
They got GPS, Greg.
Unbelievable.
GPS, autonomous, like we said, that's the big thing coming. If you can, put the pennies together these days, you just sit there and do it on your phone. I guess that kind of takes the fun away from it all.
But if I could sit in a cab and plant,
you could sit here and plant.
You could. That's right. You could run a radio show and plant 5,000 acres.
If people are doing that, why are they afraid to get in a robo-taxi?
Well, they are.
Good question.
They're not.
Less
they're afraid
traffic
to do
in
that
the fields,
too.
maybe. I don't know.
Less traffic in the fields is a good point, Greg.
It is, but you're talking about a $700,000 machine.
That's the problem right up front. So. Yeah.
All right, it's 7:08. I'm Stevie J. There's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
And Brother Johnny. Also,
hello, everybody.
Nice to have Johnny with us. Let's check your weather with our learned one, the meteorologist guy, Greg Solier, brought to you by Carl.
Stay in control of your medical care and health care. Should a medical crisis occur, talk to your primary care provider about advanced care planning. Learn more at carl.org.
All right, meteorologist Greg Solier, talk to me, sir.
Yeah, beautiful morning out there, and hopefully you're able to make some hay out there where things have firmed up. Tile lines are running full tilt, the wettest of the soil south of here. Average daytime readings at the 4-inch level. Yeah, we even keep track of that because 60 is the magic number and holding, but we're only in the mid-50s or so on these warm days. So a little more of a struggle on the cool soils, and we'll continue this up and down roller coaster ride of temps around here. And each time we warm it up, we'll make rain. Each time we cool it off, we'll make rain. And so far, most of that action is remaining to the north and west of us. Actually made some pretty good progress through northern Missouri, would you believe, with corn progress and some double-digit totals coming in out of parts of Iowa and Minnesota in select areas on the corn side of the ledger. Back this way, maybe some progress to be made for the day today with a mostly sunny, warm day's worth of almost early June-like weather. Temperatures up to around 82, light southeast wind, increasing clouds tonight, mild 60. There could be a lone shower late night tonight towards tomorrow morning. Then tomorrow, variably cloudy, mild, couple of showers around in the morning, and an outbreak or two of showers and thunderstorms for the afternoon. Highs up to 77 on a gusty southwest wind, probably quarter to 3/4. Some spots maybe a little more than an inch, and then it'll be about 60 or 70% of the coverage. We turn cooler tomorrow night down to 45, and a chillier day on Saturday. Sunshine but dry. 63 there, 67, and a sun-filled Sunday. Another big warm-up Monday, Tuesday. Here come low to mid-80s, and late Monday to Tuesday, another round of showers and thunderstorms or two across the area. Back to cooler weather mid next next week with high temperatures in the upper 60s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm Beetlejuice Greg Soldier.
All right, I'll be wearing a light jacket watching Christian run the marathon Saturday.
Yes, it should be great.
63 and no rain. Can't beat that for runners. That's really good.
Yeah, the Health and Wellness Fair actually starts today, in case you want to check that out at the Activities and Recreational Center, the ARC, on campus.
Yeah, I went to it last year. It was really good. Lots of cool people with all kinds of running and health things that they can sell you. It's good. Very, very good. And you can get in. Just say, hey, I'm here with the marathon or
Absolutely.
something.
IllinoisMarathon.com for all the details, or to volunteer for a shift if you want to do that on Saturday along the route.
Donald Trump talking about one of his best friends.
I can't speak more highly about any individual. He's an incredible guy. He's a brilliant guy. He's a wonderful person. I've seen him with his family. I've seen him with a lot of his children. He's got a lot of children. He treats them good. He loves his children. But he's a brilliant guy, and he was a tremendous help both in the campaign and in what he's done with Doge. And we're talking about almost $200 billion and rising fast, because many of the things that we were looking at are now being found out to be fact. It's terrible. I mean, the fraud, the waste, the abuse, the everything that's happened is just terrible. So I also know that he was treated very unfairly by I guess you'd call it the public, by some of the public, not by all of it. But I say he makes an incredible car, makes everything he does is good. But they took it out on Tesla. And I just thought it was so unfair, because he's trying to help the country. But he has helped the country. I also want him to make sure that he's going to be in great shape, and I know he is. I mean, he's going to do great. He loves the country. He didn't need to do this. He did it. And I told him, I said, whenever you're ready, I'd like to keep him for a long time, but whenever you're ready, he's an exceptional guy. When you see those rockets go up and come back and land in the same gantry, nobody else can do that.
Yeah, well, Jasmine Crockett said Elon Musk is not intelligent, so good to hear that.
I'll tell you, he is one of the most impressive.
Is he Da Vinci? Is he an Einstein? Is he a Da Vinci? Is he that?
That's a good question.
How historical is he?
Well, he's done some things that simply are off the charts. Look at the SpaceX and then the electric car. Either one of those you'd be in the history books.
But with politics, will it be given credit?
Well, for politics, I think saving the waste. I don't think he's out to get anyone. What was he in for? He's worth $400 billion.
Yeah.
What's his incentive for him to steal?
He gets these government contracts.
Well, he does, because he's sending satellites up that need to be there for us to talk on our phones, and we're having trouble doing that. So he can do it for less money. I mean, it's called American enterprise, and he loves this country. He also sees, Steve, what the other side, and I'm talking about the far left progressives. I'm not talking about liberals and conservatives. That went by the wayside about 10 years ago. These folks are going to tear this country apart with the things they're doing at every single level. And he sees it, and he says, we got to stop these people from doing that. This is a great country. It's amazing how people from other countries appreciate this country so much.
No question. Perspective. Well, I mean, you have Governor Pritzker doubling down on the transgender. They're going to be allowed in sports, boys and girls sports. That's allowed now. I imagine Illinois will threaten to lose federal dollars. I would think that, just like Maine and some of these other states that are defying the president's executive order. And it's 67% of the Democrats don't think the boys should play in girls' sports.
It's more than that.
Well,
there may be 33 that say, but it's probably more like 10 or 15 would really think that would really say, if their girl was playing and came home in tears, and say, the guy came in our locker room, and they say, that's the way it should be, honey.
Yeah.
There's just not, they're not going to say it. But it's just a remnant of a political fight, and I think they're losing that one.
All right, we jump to some sports headlines. John Decker coming up bottom of the hour. Let's check Diane Ducey's sports.
Well, Johnny and Stevie, I know our relationship with Coach Mike Ditka. I wonder what he'd say about Pro Football Hall of Famer and Chicago Bears Super Bowl 20 team has died. Steve Mongo Michael.
Steve McMichael
has died at 67.
Mongo.
67,
His
yeah.
ALS is horrible.
Right, no, I know, and he always thought very highly of Mr. McMichael because he's talked about him.
That's
with us
right.
Before.
I think so.
Yeah, so sad.
We had Atlanta over the St. Louis Cardinals 4-1 yesterday. Here's an update on that.
Bird Recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. The Cardinals led through 6-1-0, but missed out on a couple of opportunities to add on. Ricky, it cost them as the Braves got 3 in their half of the 8th inning and won 4-1.
Another bad day for the Cardinals bullpen. It was Ryan Fernandez giving up a 3-run home run. Jojo Romero took the loss for the Cardinals. Miles Michaelis went 6 solid innings, did not give up a run. He was really good. Good to see that. But the Cardinals just were not able to hold the lead again.
For Fernandez, he was able to strike out a couple after he gave up the 3-run homer to Eli White.
He needs to get going. Jojo needs to get going. The Cardinals need more help in that 7th and 8th inning.
It's a day off today, and the Cardinals are at Busch Stadium tomorrow night to play the Milwaukee Brewers. Left-hander Matthew Liberatore will make the start. On the air at 6:20, Ricky will have the lineups at 7:05. First pitch, 7:15 tomorrow night in St. Louis.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
Cubs are 16-10 after their win over the L.A. Dodgers.
So
yesterday,
it's the last time they played the Dodgers. 7-6 last night, 2 one-run wins. They won the series in the season now 4-3. All right. And I don't know. I watched the end of that game, and something's going on. The Cubs, I think, have a wonderful chance to win the Central. It's not a great division, but I don't know. Shohei Ohtani in the 9th inning, he swung and missed and couldn't get to the dugout in time. He swung at a really bad ball. And Cub fans going nuts. All the phones are out. Cubs win, Cubs win.
How's 16-10 stand in modern baseball? Is that a pretty good record?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you go down to the Padres, Dodgers, they're like 15-5.
Okay.
But 16-10 in that division, the Cubs are a couple of...
How are those Yankees doing?
Yankees are like, I don't know, 16-8, something.
So that's really good. Top of the league.
No, they're doing fine. And in that division, the Central Division, you win 85 games, which will be 10 games over 500 or something. That'll probably be enough. Anyway, it's Cubs got it going, man. And Wrigley Field is packed. Dodgers in town. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So we have a game against the Phillies tomorrow at 1:10 over on US 105.9. Minnesota over the Chicago White Sox 6-3. Also have some NBA playoffs with Boston over Orlando. Celtics up 2-0 in that series. Cleveland up 2-0 and beating Miami 121-112. And Houston tied up the series at a game apiece with their win over Golden State. Illinois softball wins over NIU. Illinois women's golf is an 8 seed in May. They'll be in the NCAA tournament, starting that out in Columbus.
Yeah, they seed even golf teams, and you're thinking, boy, somebody gets hot with the putter. He can get hot in every sport. But All right, our weather this morning with meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
They got their fresh team hangout tomorrow. If you want to check that out, there's all kinds of great programs. Free Fitness Week starts next week. You can learn more about the FlexiPass on that at urbanaparks.org.
All right, we'll check our Fox business coming up.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather for Eastern Florida. Champaign-Urbana is Saturday. Nice spell of weather ahead for the day today. Next weather system on the move for the day tomorrow brings down markedly cooler air on Saturday. Back to seasonal norms on Sunday. Another big warm-up at least into the first part of next week, and more rain in the forecast as well. Mostly sunny, warm for the day today. Matter of fact, early summer-like highs at 82. A little bit of a boost on humidity and dew points as well, with a light southeast wind. Increasing cloudiness for tonight. Mild. A shower breaks out well after midnight. Low down to 60, light south wind. Tomorrow, variable cloudiness, mild, a couple of showers and thunderstorms both morning and afternoon. Highs up to 77 and a gusty southwest wind. Showers move out early tomorrow night. Turns breezy, much cooler, low down to 45, and a partly sunny, much cooler day on Saturday at 63, but back up with sunshine and 67 on Sunday. Into the lower and middle 80s Monday and Tuesday. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, and another cool-off slated the middle part of next week, with daytime readings back down into the 60s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
today.
Take charge of the years ahead with a smart, sound investment strategy and business succession plan. Busey Bank's business and wealth management experts help you envision your best future with powerful insights and proven strategies. Building business and growing wealth since 1868. Busey Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
PepsiCo, parent company of Pepsi Cola, Frito-Lay Snacks, and Quaker Oats, is seeing demand for its products cooling. Snack food sales declined in recent months. CEO Ramon LaGuarta says consumer conditions in many markets remain subdued. Inflation has strained budgets and altered food shopping patterns. At the same time, it's costing the company more to ship products. The recent quarter was disappointing. PepsiCo is lowering expectations for this year. Dow, the maker of plastics and other materials, lost money in its recent quarter. It's seeing a slump in demand for its products. Southwest Airlines and Alaska Air are both losing ground. They are no longer estimating how business will do this year because of macroeconomic uncertainty. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosolda. Invested in you.
I'm Benjamin Hall, Fox News senior correspondent and New York Times best-selling author, and I'm searching for heroes. Every Monday, I'll speak with a few silent but noteworthy heroes, everyday people who illuminate stories of compassion and are true embodiments of heroism. Make sure you subscribe to my podcast, Searching for Heroes with Benjamin Hall, wherever you download podcasts, and please leave a rating and a review.
You know, Lucas wanted to buy a home, reached out to the Nate Evans Group for help. He's glad he did. Lucas says that Nate and his team provided exceptional service and always provided prompt responses to any of his questions throughout the entire home buying experience.
Yeah, you don't want to leave any money on the table. No agent brings you more options and spends more money to attract more buyers to sell your home for the most money possible. So call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans, 217-239-7113. A friend you can trust in the business, been around for a while. All the agents have great experience and knowledge for you. Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group with eXp Realty can sell your home for the most money possible. So just get the process started. Do an online search. Nate Evans Group online. Start packing.
Sell your home with the Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to the NateEvansGroup.com.
A pumpkin coach, a glass slipper, and a fairy godmother. It's Champaign-Urbana Ballet's Cinderella, May 2nd and 3rd. The timeless story set magically on stage at the Virginia Theater, downtown Champaign. Sponsored by Area-Wide Technologies, the Bill Bass Foundation, Champaign Ballet Academy, Stone Ridge Dairy, and Two Men and a Truck. For tickets to CU Ballet's Cinderella, May 2nd and 3rd, call the Virginia Theater box office or visit thevirginia.org.
This is XYZ Insurance. How can I help?
I have a question about my home policy.
Okay, question about phone policy.
Home policy.
Okay, gnome policy.
HOME, home.
Technology is great, but sometimes it's better to talk with a real person. With Erie Insurance, you have a caring, independent agent who's with you from beginning to end.
We don't have any HOMEs on record.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
NFL draft starts tonight. Young people standing there wherever they'll be.
Green Bay,
Wisconsin.
yeah.
Becoming instant millionaires if you're in the top. Yeah. They'll have their entourages, probably their coaches. Pat Bryant's probably our best shot to get up the first few rounds.
He's good.
Yes, sir. Wide receiver. Long, tall. Had a spectacular year for Illinois. Won the Citrus Bowl against South Carolina. Anyway, so that'll be fun. It's just in basketball, we know more names. You see their faces. Football, there's helmets. You can't really. I don't know who the first pick is. That's how. I know Cooper Flagg's the first pick in June in the NBA draft.
Right.
For a cool $57 million in 4 years, mostly guaranteed. Anyway, not bad. But yeah, and I don't know, Johnny. Chicago Bears were kind of bullish on the Bears. We carry them now on radio on WQQB in the Falls Q96. And I think they have a really good chance to make the playoffs. They got Dennis Allen, former Saints coach, as the defensive coordinator. They got this Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. And there's optimism that the Bears could be good. So,
well, I'll tell you, and I don't study it because you could spend basically full time studying the drafts and all the players and who's going to go first, who traded what pick, and it's all very interesting. But I'm just going to wait and just see how it shakes out.
Yeah.
And particularly who the Saints end up with. Who we're kind of struggling down south, but. We'll keep an eye on those Bears, too.
Well, the Saints have probably lost Derek Carr, the quarterback, with a shoulder. Now, Aaron Rodgers land in New Orleans. There is buzz. Perhaps that's the answer for the New Orleans Saints.
He's getting long in the tooth.
Would you take Aaron Rodgers with all that? He's 40 years old, and the Jets were whatever they were, 5 and whatever, 7 and.
Obviously, with his experience, he could be good, but you gotta acknowledge he's not the Aaron Rodgers he was 10 years ago. But with Kellen Moore, I think he could probably do very well with a really experienced superstar Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, okay. All right, so I got to play this clip before we get to John Decker. Listen closely to this. Just listen closely.
Will this administration continue to oversee the deportation of 400,000 people a year?
As long as Congress gives us the money to deport 400,000 people a year, that's what the administration is going to do. That's our obligation under the law. We will be strategic about how we do it, and the number of those folks who are either criminals or recent arrivals will continue to go up. But yes, this is our obligation under the law.
Are you saying that this administration believes that there are 400,000 serious criminals who are not in jail right now and who should be deported? 400,000 people. Where are you going to find them if you're saying that your emphasis is only on serious criminals?
As I pointed out, of the people that we remove, of the 400,000 people removed in the last year, about half of them are serious criminals under the definition in immigration law. And
comment?
Well, I think that it's kind of a moot point. You can be deported if you came in here without the proper documentation. I wouldn't use the word criminal because they were invited in by our last president.
Well, hold on. This is Barack Obama.
Okay, hear what Barack
This
says.
is Obama. This is Obama's administration 12 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So here they're talking about Obama deported over 10 million and had 0 injunctions from any judge anywhere. And they got him in, they got him out. It's unbelievable numbers that Barack Obama deported. Trump tries to do it in the first 100 days, gets 30 injunctions by radical judges. It is unbelievable. That is from 12 years ago and Barack Obama's administration.
Wow.
Well, yeah, who knew that?
Right.
Because we didn't hear about that many deportations.
No, and they were doing it, and then all of a sudden, you're the devil. It's just so ridiculous.
The point is that we can't afford to be that lax in our system. It's not fair to the people who try to find out, how do you come to America?
Yeah.
Let me fill out all the data.
Right.
Here's the truth of who I am, so you can decide whether I can come. None of that. They just come in and they say, well, you can stay because you made it over the river.
Yeah.
Which, I'll tell you what, that's a heck of a deal when you can make it over the river. I'll give you that. And but we can't afford it. We actually can't afford it, and it's hurting our schools.
But what is
and everything else?
What there is it? The whole inside of the kind of the deep plan was a voting block that they could count on these immigrants to come in and vote for Democrats?
What's that was. I think the higher goal that the people who are funding this have is to erode America to where it's not the power that we are. That's how you get a one central global government. America has to go. We're not going to go along with it. Our attitude's not conducive to having a government in Geneva, and we just have to go. And so they start with the confusion of the sexes, no energy, flood us with immigrants who don't even speak our language or know what we're doing, and then say, oh no, these people need to have what we have. Well, maybe, but we don't have that to give.
Well, can you imagine trying to do, if they came in illegally, they should go right home. They want to have trials. They're talking about the number of people Joe Biden's administration allowed into our country illegally. It would line up from New York to L.A. in line. That's how long the line is.
And the point, you make a good point, which is, see what happens when you don't seal your border.
Yeah.
Wait, what's going on now, Steve? It's over. It was January 20th, and today's April 24th or 5th. What do we got?
24th.
And so in that time frame, we shut the border down.
Yeah, I know. They could have done it anytime.
And all of these injunctions and poor people here and, oh, man, we told them to come, which many people did.
Yeah.
It's wide open, which it was. We'll help you. We did. Well, so you can't really blame them, but you can explain with the people that told you that shouldn't have told you, and we're sorry, we'll help you get back. Here's a plane ticket.
A lot of people are self-deporting, and the caravans that they can track are turning around. So we look how quickly that one went. Everybody's saying, well, he said he'd lower prices immediately. Well,
also it was like we have to have Congress. We can't possibly.
Yeah,
keep,
right. They said that.
Right. And
all right.
Yeah, among other things.
John Decker is next. Stand by. It's Thursday, April 24. Look at the screen here.
Oh, good.
No idea. All right, John Decker next on this Thursday. It's 7:30 now in Champaign-Urbana.
News. I'm CJ Papa. Ukraine's President Zelensky, speaking in South Africa, says he does not see strong pressure on his Russian counterpart. This after Russia targets Kyiv with a barrage of missiles that kills at least 9 people, injures 70 more. He describes the attack as one of the most outrageous. Zelensky is cutting short his trip to that nation. The middle of 3 days, the public mourning continues, St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City, where the next step has been set.
The cardinals met this morning announcing that the ceremony to close the casket of Pope Francis will take place tomorrow, Friday at 8 p.m. local time. And American Cardinal Kevin Farrell will lead that ceremony. He is the one who is in task of leading this transition period.
Fox's Alex Hogan in Vatican City. The funeral is set for Saturday, 4 a.m. Eastern Time. The Pope died Monday at the age of 88. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Construction continuing on I-72 over I-57 in Champaign, but people living close to the work say it's bringing unwanted consequences. They say nearby neighborhoods, as they started hearing the loud noises last week. That sound typically starts in the early evening, goes until 6 a.m. IDOT says they've asked the contractor to do as much work as they can during the day. Illinois awarding a $30 million worth of grant funds to help revitalize commercial corridors in downtown areas throughout the state. They say the grant funding used for construction, repair, and modernization of public infrastructure and amenities to boost jobs, improve quality of life, and stimulate economic activity. 20-year legal saga in Urbana coming to a close. City leaders approved a settlement agreement to pay off the remaining balance on the lawsuit involving Carl Health and property tax exemptions. It'll cost the city of Urbana, Cunningham Township, and Champaign County more than $6 million. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim. Our weather this morning brought to you by Kramer Siding and Window.
Enjoy the beauty, safety, and energy efficiency of a new front door and save 25%. Lots of styles and colors to suit you. Learn more at kramersiding.com.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. The parade of weather systems on the move. One more scheduled here later on tonight and tomorrow. Up and down on temperatures continuing on, but at least a couple of days from time to time of some early summer-like warmth over parts of the area, much like today. Sunshine, light southeast wind, and readings almost early to mid-June-like at about 82 with that light southeast wind continuing on. Increasing cloudiness for tonight, mild, 60 the low. There may be a stray shower well after midnight. Cool front approaches in from the west tomorrow. A couple of outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms both morning, a break, and then back in for the afternoon up to 77. Winds will turn into the north tomorrow night. Cooler low down to 45 with an evening shower, then a partly sunny, much cooler Saturday at 63. Sunshine, lighter winds, and 67 on Sunday, back into the low and mid 80s. Monday and Tuesday back into scattered showers and thunderstorms as well. Those will be moving out here early Wednesday and back into cooler readings the middle part of next week with highs in the upper 60s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window. New roofing and siding are a winning combination that can instantly change the look, feel, and function of your home. Our Kramer Siding and Window team takes pride in being an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, able to offer a best-in-the-business 50-year warranty. Pair it with preservation siding in your favorite style and color, and your home will be a showstopper. Start today and save 10% on roofing and 25% on siding. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
Ladies and gentlemen, moms and dads, boys and girls, it's Thursday. John Decker John Decker. I want to talk to John Decker. He is the one we know. I want to talk to John Decker. He's at the White House in press room.
John Decker. John Decker. I want to talk to
Yes,
John
children
Decker.
planting the crops are singing the theme now. Ladies and gentlemen, Great Television's White House correspondent. And girlfriend, you're kind of acquaintance with my best friend now, Hilton, the head of the Gray Television operation.
Your best
First
friend.
name is Hilton. I'm on a first name basis with him.
Good.
Brother Johnny's
Good.
here.
Hey,
It's John
John.
Decker. It's
Hey,
Diane
Johnny.
Ducey. And, of course, journalist, and I say that with a capital J, journalist John Decker. Let's hear a little of John's work from this week with Caroline. I'm saying that right? Caroline Levitt. Caroline Levitt, the White House spokesperson.
You're welcome. John.
Thanks a lot, Caroline. Some economic questions for you. Kevin Hassett has been a key economic advisor to the president in both of his terms. In 2022...
And he still is.
And he still is.
He was just in my office.
Absolutely. In 2022, he said that the independence of the Fed is super important. That's a direct quote. Is that something that the president subscribes to? Does he still believe in the independence of the Federal Reserve?
Look, I think the president has made his position on the Fed and on Powell quite clear. The president believes that they have been making moves and taking action in the name of politics rather in the name of what's right for the American economy. The president has the right to express his displeasure with the Fed, and he has the right to say he believes interest rates should be lower. He believes Americans should be able to borrow money cheaper than they currently are right now. And I also spoke to Kevin Hassett about the Fed as well, and he has called into question the Fed's independence and whether they are actually doing things, again, out of the best interest of the economy, or are they doing it for partisan reasons. The president wants to see interest rates lower. He has made that quite clear.
We've also seen, if I may, I'm sorry, one more, Caroline, just about, I said two economic questions. About the dollar. We've seen the dollar at multi-year lows versus the euro and other currencies around the world. Is it the administration's policy for a strong dollar? How does it view the dollar versus other currencies around the world?
The president wants to see the dollar remain as the world's reserve currency for our long-term fiscal stability and our economic growth. He's been quite clear about that.
John, taking us to work with you, very, very impressive. You asked very good questions, and I don't sure how I would.
Stevie.
I probably would have said, "Well, you're just fake." Okay, next question. That's always the easy way out when tough questions.
Yeah.
So what is your take? Caroline Levitt, I think, is a star. I think
she's solid.
She's going to run for some major office. She already ran for Congress once. She's 27 years old. She's smart.
Yeah,
she's not going through that binder that KJP did last time.
No, she goes out there without any of that. It's very impressive. I've been impressed with her from the start, and I've known her since her time working in the first Trump administration when she served in the press office. But now she's out front. Now she is the spokesperson, the press secretary for President Trump.
How is President Trump going to end this war with Ukraine and Russia? I mean, it's a mess, and I don't know how you get it. I don't know how you get it done.
I don't know. I mean, look, the one obstacle in terms of getting peace between Russia and Ukraine, it's one person. It's Vladimir Putin. And that's not my opinion. That's just a fact. And the reason I say that is because there's a 30-day ceasefire proposal. It was put on the table 2 months ago. Ukraine accepted that proposal immediately. And here we are 2 months later. It has not been accepted by Russia, by Vladimir Putin. And he, holds all the cards, as the president would say. It takes two to tango. The president would say that too. And Vladimir Putin is not cooperating, and that's the problem here.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a matter of trying to head something like that off. And, of course, when Putin was lying up at the border, nothing. And then once he was in, the cat's out of the bag. And so now we got a mess. And it's similar to the border to me, John. We have all these immigration issues for deportation. Why do we let them in? It took 3 months for Trump to shut it down. And so I don't... it's so critical to make the right decision and have a strategy that makes sense. And so that's why you keep seeing coaches switch back and forth because it's all about the strategy and how you approach the game. But I like the way you're kind of asking some fundamental questions. I think you'd agree we need the dollar to be the world reserve currency.
China wants it, right?
Who doesn't want it? The dollar is key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
no, that's very true.
But there's so many issues under the sun that people are grabbing for, and it looks like the Democrats now, their leadership in the Democratic Party at a recent poll, 25%. What do they do? What do they? Because James Carville actually came out and said they need to split with the progressives. I don't know if that's going to
Well, look, it's very interesting. Republicans have had the same issue before. After Donald Trump is no longer president, is it still the Trump party anymore? Because he's really taken over the Republican Party. But as for Democrats, I don't know. There's no one individual that you can think of when you think of the Democratic Party that represents the future of the Democratic Party. And they have to figure that out. They have a few years to figure that out before the next presidential election. But right now, I think that they're trying to determine who speaks on behalf of all of those Democrats out there that are out in the wilderness, so to speak. They don't control the House, they don't control the Senate, and of course, they don't control the White House.
Could some moderate like Harold Ford Jr. or Joe Manchin, could they unify, or is the Jasmine Crockett voice going to get more airtime?
Well, it used to be, someone like Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton managed to do what you're suggesting. He had this centrist point of view back in the early 90s, and there's no one like Bill Clinton in the Democratic Party right now that I see, that wants to move the party from where it is, left of center, to being more centrist. And, I think that's the key for them. The problem is, as you point out, the progressives in the party, they don't want to move to the center. They want to move the party, it seems to me, further to the left. People like, Jasmine Crockett and AOC and Bernie Sanders. That, I think that our last election has shown is not where our country is. Our country is center-right, if anything. And so they have to figure out where they go from here over the course of the next year, because the midterms will be here before you know it. And then beyond that, look, who is their standard bearer for the 2028 presidential election?
Well, I think what I see is really three pretty solid constituencies these days, which is the far left, the more center, and the further right. And the Democrats have a lot of that center, but they're trying to drag them along without compromise, and it could split. I mean, it'd be a different world with three different groups. But I do think moderate Democrat, even Clinton, though, John, I'm not sure he could bring those Crockett's and AOC's on the team. I don't know if he could do it.
There was a podcast with Rahm Emanuel, Barack Obama's guy, and he gets creamed by a liberal host saying, I completely disagree with your transgender. We need new people. That's why we... Yeah. That kind of, wow.
Yeah, so I don't know, John. It looks like we have an honest split in terms of three people that see the world three really large groups that see the world a little different.
Well, they are, and Rahm Emanuel is certainly from that Clinton wing. He served most recently in the Biden administration as, if I'm not mistaken, ambassador to Japan, and he has presidential ambitions. So we'll see where that goes.
Well, I'll tell you, our friend Ed Martin, U.S. Attorney D.C., who you'll be covering the confirmation of him, which has become a thing. And but he said Rahm Emanuel's the kind of person you got to watch. And Newsom's trying to say, I'm going to be Emanuel. He's got so much baggage, I'm not sure he can pull it off. But he does
he does. He has a lot, in terms of the way that he's governed California. But he's a big name. He's from California. But just because you're a big name doesn't necessarily mean that, you push everybody out of the way, you elbow everybody out of the way. As you point out, Johnny, he does have a lot of baggage that he brings,
but he
has presidential ambition.
He sees that's the way to go. You got to go in the center. And so maybe the progressives would go with him saying he's lying. He'll do what we want to do once he gets in. And so somebody like that, I'd say don't write him off.
I would vote for Gavin Newsom. His hair is amazing. No, I mean, no, you cannot.
I'd vote against him because of his hair. How do you get that hair?
His hair's really, he's got it going on with the hair. He's got it going on with, but outside of the hair, I can't say, because I think he's a finger in the air guy too.
Well, sure. Oh, no, that's what he's doing.
He's just like, that's not fair for boys and girls sports. That's not fair. Well, you didn't say that a little while ago. Gretchen Whitmer, there's a lot of people.
He's going
to be 17, 18 Democrats up there.
Oh yeah, there's going to be a dozen of them.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. And JB Pritzker,
he's holding the line though on the progressive.
Yeah, he's all far left. He's way far left. So I don't know.
You know him better than I do.
Yeah. Well, he's far left. And he's also a billionaire. Pritzkers have $18 billion between the siblings.
Yeah, that's a good chunk of money.
Wasn't he the Hyatt?
Not bad.
I think the Hyatt. I think he was a Hyatt heir or something.
That's right.
Off the subject, but think about that. That's incredibly wealthy. Musk has $400 billion. Gee, man.
Oh my!
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Hey, by the way, the Tim Walz staff guy that keyed the Teslas, 6 Teslas, $20,000 damage. No,
he did. Yeah, I didn't know that story. Oh my God!
Tim Walz staffer went
on camera
because the Teslas are $20,000. 6 Teslas keyed like crazy. No charges.
Nope.
It's Jordan. No, Jordan.
The Tesla, whoever owned those cars deserved it.
Anyway,
I'd press charges if someone did that to my car.
Well, they won't take them.
They have this whatever out. He won't be on his record, and it's a George Soros, Attorney General in Minneapolis.
Right. No.
And so actually there is some outrage in Minnesota calling it extraordinarily embarrassing. And that's just they have this guy in a tie, and he's just,
I got to tell you, if you're not embarrassed by Tim Walz, you're not going to be embarrassed. So,
well, all right. So the weeks ahead, what do you think is going to be? I could ask this John Decker trivia. A week from today, what's the headline?
Well, I got to tell you, Stevie, I have such a great week on tap next week. I can't wait for this coming week. First of all, we have the Correspondents' Dinner that's coming up this weekend. I always look forward to that. So that's Saturday. And then Monday, the world champion, NFL Super Bowl champion, Eagles will be at the White House to celebrate their Super Bowl victory. So looking forward to that.
John's a big Eagles
Monday.
fan. Big Eagles fan.
I am. So very pleased by that. And then on Tuesday, the president's taking his first day trip. It's going to be to Macomb County, Michigan. It's to celebrate 100 days as president, and guess who's going to be on that trip, Stevie?
John
Yours truly. Yes, I can't wait.
fantastic.
So I'll be on Air Force One with President Trump, and so that's on Tuesday. So already the week's looking pretty good next week. And today I'll be in the Oval Office because he's going to be meeting with the Prime Minister of Norway. So I'll be in the small group that will be in the Oval Office for that meeting today.
It has to be a lot of fun knowing that when you are with the president, there's about a 100% chance he'll talk for as long as you want. Which is,
I know it.
You get so much stuff.
True.
You can get so much stuff.
Yeah.
You're getting to where you may need a note taker, and I'm pretty good at that, John. If you,
That's right. Here's my guy Johnny. He's my note taker. Don't pay attention to him.
Yeah. 217 texter. JB Pritzker was born on third base, but believes he hit a triple. So
right. Yeah, I've heard that line before. Ann Richards said that. All right, about George H.W. Bush. Great line for sure. But look. Huge advantages, that you have, coming into a race when you have that financial advantage. But that's not the end all and be all. You have to have a message, and if you don't have a message for all the money in the world, it doesn't mean much.
Well, I think the Dems outspent Trump 3-1 to make John's point.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Right. I think that Hillary Clinton outspent Donald Trump in 2016 as well. So it's just a matter of the message. You can outraise your opponent, but if you don't have a good message to sell to the public, to those who will be voting, it doesn't really count for all that much. And you can go through lots of examples of very wealthy or well-financed candidates over the course of the past half century who did not win their races despite being extremely wealthy.
It's also whether you believe what they're saying, and both sides call them total liars, but people believe Trump was going to do what he's saying, and people believe that Dems were going to do what they're saying. So we don't want to do that. So that's what switched them over, and they finally were like, well, what's really going to happen? Not so much what they were saying. The message is key, but what have they shown they're going to do? And if you can get to the point where you can make a good choice. That's how it's supposed to work.
That's right. Well, as you were talking, Johnny, I was thinking about some of those candidates. Mitt Romney, pretty wealthy guy. He lost to Barack Obama. There was a guy named Michael Huffington.
Yeah,
I was going to say
Ariana
Huffington.
Huffington's post. Out in California, he spent a ton of money, didn't go
like 10
anywhere.
to 1
So,
on
you
that
know,
race, yeah.
Well,
yeah,
I'm
that's right.
going to show Johnny and Diane before I let you go here a picture of John Decker with a model in Grand Cayman. Look at her.
No, it's tough out there.
Look at that.
It's rough out there in the trenches.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, that's a
Sunset
great,
with the
that's a great
ocean
spot.
over your shoulder.
I did want to ask John about the Caymans. What'd you think?
Yeah, I was pretty impressed. I mean, we go back. That was our first time there. We would go back. Some people have direct flights. We flew through Miami, so it's pretty easy to get there. Beautiful beaches, great food. We enjoyed where we stayed as well. So I'd give it a thumbs up for sure.
You both look 40, so good work.
That's so nice of you. Wow. Okay. Thank you.
John Decker, we appreciate it very much. Great television's White House and national correspondent, star, journalist. We appreciate what you're doing out there. We need you.
Yeah, we'll be watching you next week, John.
Yeah, next week will be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll talk next week for sure. And always, thanks for having me on today, Stevie and Diane and Johnny. And we'll talk next week for sure.
Thank you. John Decker live from Washington, D.C. this morning, ESPN 93.5. I still have my M&Ms he sent me from the Air Force One.
Oh, yeah.
Has a little seal on it.
I like that.
He's got a pillow.
It's on your
from
desk.
Air Force
isn't
One.
it?
And I
almost grabbed him and ate him.
Yeah, I do have them.
Just hanging with the press.
And he has a White House pillow from the airplane, at the Air Force One.
Was he supposed to take that, Steve?
I'm not sure. I said, could you put one of those in your suit coat?
Gee, you ate a lot, John. You guys are puffing out there in the front. Don't check me. I've got the pillow there.
I bet you they recycle those. I don't think they're just disposable things. Anyway, it's pretty cool what he gets to do.
He's probably taking it back with him so he can use it on his next trip.
There you go.
That's right. We check your weather with our meteorologist, Greg Solier. Did you know Nathaniel's son coming up?
Well, get everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign and vicinity. The parade of weather systems on the move. One more scheduled here later on tonight and tomorrow. Up and down on temperatures continuing on, but at least a couple of days from time to time of some early summer-like warmth over parts of the area, much like today. Sunshine, light southeast wind, and readings almost early to mid-June-like at about 82 with that light southeast wind continuing on. Increasing cloudiness for tonight, mild. 60 the low. There may be a stray shower well after midnight. Cool front approaches in from the west tomorrow. A couple of outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms both morning, a break, and then back in for the afternoon up to 77. Winds will turn into the north tomorrow night. Cooler low down to 45 with an evening shower, then a partly sunny, much cooler Saturday at 63. Sunshine, lighter winds, and 67 on Sunday, back into the low and mid 80s. Monday and Tuesday back into scattered showers and thunderstorms as well. Those will be moving out here early Wednesday and back into cooler readings the middle part of next week with highs in the upper 60s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group, thanks for coming into our studio and discussing the experience about buying your first home. What are the first steps you should take, and how can your team help at Nate Evans Group?
Yeah, I mean, buying your first home can be super scary. Maybe not even scary is the right word. There's just a lot of unknown. So I think the important item for somebody to find is clarity on what that looks like. So if I was a first-time home buyer, I'm probably calling the Nate Evans Group, and I'm going to ask to speak with them, the local experts in there that's specific to the area they're trying to search. And we're going to sit down with them. We can keep it super easy. We usually do it over the phone first, and then we can do an in-person meeting at a house that they choose or they like. And we'll talk them through next steps, pre-approvals, refining criteria, and then next thing you know, we're finding houses off market for them that don't exist, because that seems to be a challenge for a lot of buyers right now.
Call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans at 217-239-7113. Do an online search to Nate Evans Group and start packing.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
And we'll talk grilling and smoking next hour with our pitmaster extraordinaire, Tim Onsa. But this hour, this time of the week, it's Nathaniel's son. From Chicago, my son Nathaniel, so that you know who he is, I put son on it. Kind of like Karate Kid, if you're old enough to remember that movie.
Absolutely.
Nathaniel's son. How are you?
I'm well. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Nathaniel, we're doing good. Weather's great here.
Yeah, pretty good in Chicago. I know. Beautiful.
It's good up here too. And this morning we get the chance to talk about something that's not necessarily related to our spring weather, but it is something that I think all of us at some point or another have done. I even did it last night. But it came across me that I never really understood why I do it. Now, if we say, okay, I hope that the weather stays good or something like that, and then what's the phrase we use after? Knock on wood. And then we try to frantically find something and we knock on it, but really, where does that come from? Well, this morning we'll unpack, there's a few different theories. There's not really anything that's conclusive, but a few different ideas are in Ireland, where the Celts used to reign. The predominant religion in the 17th, 18th centuries, actually part of the religion was they worshiped trees, and they believed trees would stave off bad luck. So one theory is that it originated from Ireland and then made its way over to the United States, and the phrase knock on wood just became a thing. Another idea is actually Christianity and the cross being made out of wood and representing salvation, that being one. That one seems a little far-fetched to me. The one that appears to be the leading reason for why knock on wood became a thing that many of us say but probably don't really know where it came from is actually a playground game in 19th century Great Britain called Tiggy Touchwood, and I guess it was a type of tag. I certainly didn't play it growing up, but it was a type of tag where if someone was touching a piece of wood, they were safe or they were immune. And so the theory is that then evolved to all of us saying the phrase knock on wood. But now we know maybe where it came from.
Well, there's some ideas. I've certainly knocked on wood myself. So.
Yeah, no, we do that all the time.
That's
I don't know if that's still a thing, but it was a long time ago.
Right.
I look around I don't think Formica's wood, so whatever you have.
Nathaniel did it last night, so there you
go. Boom. Good stuff, Nathaniel's son. Knock on wood and little the origins. By the way, a shout out to your friend from your church, Romy, because he has listened to you before, and I just wanted to say that. What Romulus was his name, right?
Yeah, Romulus. Yeah, I'll have to send him this soundbite in case he's not.
Yeah,
listening.
no, he can go to the podcast. He can go to the podcast and hear it anytime he wants to hear his name on the radio.
StevieJay.com.
That's right there. All right, so your little Josephine, a little peanut, which is what her shirt said yesterday.
Aww.
What a doll, Nathaniel! What a doll! She's just growing so quickly.
Yeah, no, she enjoyed time with Grandma yesterday for sure, and she's. It's incredible to see just little things that change every day at this point. Just a little bit more sound she's making, a little bit more activity when she's on tummy time. It's incredible.
And the smiles now,
oh my gosh,
just the development's incredible.
But she goes, she just goes, whoa, she's talking. It hasn't articulated.
She was. I will say she was on Sunday when you and Mom were here. She was very vocal. She hasn't really been that vocal since. So I don't know. She might be taking after her grandpa a little bit.
There you go.
Well, she's very expressive. She's very, very expressive. Anyway, lovely. Loved seeing her. And I guess we'll see you in a couple days.
Yeah, we'll be there for the Illinois Marathon.
Marathon.
That's right.
This will be family member number 5. Benjamin is the one that still hasn't done a marathon. It's a long way.
Yes,
we were up there for Nathaniel in Chicago. I mean, it's a grueling 26.2. I mean, it's a long way. And you did it. So that's pretty cool. Nathaniel's son, thank you.
Good to talk to you, Nathaniel.
See you soon.
Take care.
It's my son and Nathaniel in Chicago. Yeah, Christian's running. He's having a little knee issue and all that stuff. So I have a feeling if he starts, he's not going to quit. So I don't want him to get hurt either. But it's a long run.
I know.
It's a long run. Janet's knee started hurting in 1992 in the Chicago Marathon. Sharp pains in mile 2. Gutted it out to another 24.2.
Yay.
Anyway.
I think between 20 and 23, Prospect Curtis Road areas where I'm set up for the music and the motivation
That's
on the
a
mic.
hard stretch for the runner.
It is, and that's why they put me there to really get them going. You can do it.
I never believed in the wall. Because they said the 20-mile wall. I never believed it. My wall actually came at 18.
Right.
It was like brutal. And they take pictures in the Chicago Marathon twice. One at mile 18 and one at the final as you cross the gate.
And 18, you're grimacing.
Well, and of course I happen to be a foot ahead of my top competitor, an 84-year-old man. Anyway,
Well, I tell you, I
ridiculous.
I was thinking of going to register, and then I hit a wall.
In the sign-up line.
And you know what? It's kind of like racetrack and race car drivers. If your tire goes bad, I mean, if something happens, there's nothing you can do. It's just a long, long way.
It's something. I guess it's like a bucket list thing.
Well, yeah.
But some people just love to run.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I loved to run because it's so nice to be out there, and I love to be out there. But I like walking.
Yeah, you can walk a long way.
But you don't go as fast.
No.
So I tell you what, I was running for a while, but in that 1-2 mile.
You were doing a mile, 2 miles. Yeah, you did that a long time.
Still didn't like it.
Yeah. All right, we're going to break for the news. Come back.
40 yards.
That's your race, 40 yards.
There we go.
Johnny was a 4.6. 4.640 is unbelievable. The news is next. Stand by. Lots more in the next hour. Some more clips to play. We'll get you everything you need. Stand by. We'll be right back. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
President Trump is not happy. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what he just wrote on Truth Social about Russia's latest attack on Ukraine, a drone and missile barrage overnight that left 9 people dead, more than 70 others wounded. The president wrote, "Not necessary and very bad timing," adding, "Vladimir, stop," in all caps, urging Russian President Putin and Ukraine to get the peace deal done.
Because of this latest Russian attack, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is returning home early from his trip to South Africa. The Trump administration's proposal essentially freezes the battle lines and bars Ukraine from joining NATO in return for what critics say are vague security guarantees. Trump says Zelensky is prolonging the killing by refusing. Zelensky says Russia didn't even seriously entertain the Trump administration's first ceasefire plan.
That's Fox's Rich Edson at the White House. That Ukraine war is being discussed this morning. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth talking to NATO's leader. And in a few hours, the president will talk to Norway's prime minister, a NATO ally, as President Trump tries to work out trade deals with dozens of countries while also hinting he could lower at some point the high tariffs on Chinese imports. He is being sued by a dozen Democratic state attorneys general who allege,
by claiming authority to impose immense and ever-changing tariffs, President Trump has upended the constitutional order and brought chaos to the American economy. Earlier this week, a federal court allowed the president's tariffs to remain in place, rejecting a challenge by a group of small businesses arguing the president overstepped his authority.
Fox's Jared Halpern. There are long lines of people in Rome again paying their respects to Pope Francis on the second of 3 days of public viewing. Fox's Jonathan Savage reports.
Tens of thousands have filed past the Pope's coffin, including American student Lana Klein.
Walking in there, it was very emotional, but you could feel how much people really cared about him.
Also long lines at St. Mary Major Basilica, people visiting the space being prepared for the burial.
Pope Francis' funeral will be Saturday morning. America's listening to Fox News.
Listen up, Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. So let's do it again and get vaccinated. We're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults under 50. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com to schedule. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in focus and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
2815 Old Jacksonville, Springfield. CordellCordell.com.
Now, before that Trump Truth Social post about Ukraine this morning, President Trump also took a swipe at Democrats, posting they are fighting like hell to keep murderers and all other types of criminals solidly in the U.S. As a legal battle keeps going over Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who remains in El Salvador, where some Democratic lawmakers have gone demanding he be returned, though the Trump administration insists that Abrego Garcia is a gang member who does not belong in the U.S., despite admitting a clerical error allowed him to beat on deportation flights last month with other alleged gang members.
They still need to give daily updates, but government attorneys get a reprieve until April 30th as far as complying with the judge's orders for testimony and documents explaining what the government has done so far to return Kilmar Abrego Garcia to the U.S. Maryland-based U.S. District Judge Paula Zenas granting the halt Wednesday evening to her directive, a day after blasting the Trump administration for ignoring her orders, obstructing the legal process, and acting in bad faith by refusing to provide information on efforts to retrieve the Maryland man who was mistakenly deported to El Salvador. The reason for the stay is unclear since both parties' filings are sealed. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
Number 2 Democrat in the Senate is not going to seek re-election in Illinois next year. Senator Dick Durbin announced in a video.
In my heart, I know it's time to pass the torch.
Durbin was first elected to the House in 1982.
The Senate in 1996. His retirement signals a youth movement after last year's debacle over age with former President Biden. Political longevity is toxic in the Democratic Party. There's a push on the left for Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer to step down from his post.
Fox's Chad Pergam at the Capitol. We just got an employment update. First-time jobless claims rose slightly last week to 222,000. The number of Americans still collecting claims, it declined by 37,000. And on Wall Street, stock futures are mixed ahead of the opening bell this hour. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. 20-year-old legal saga in Urbana coming to a close. City leaders approved a settlement agreement to pay off the remaining balance on the lawsuit involving Carle Health and property tax exemptions. It'll cost the city of Urbana, Cunningham Township, and Champaign County more than $6 million. Construction continuing on I-72 over I-57 in Champaign, but people living close to the work say it's bringing unwanted consequences. They say nearby neighborhoods, as they started hearing the loud noises last week, that sound typically starts in the early evening, goes until 6 a.m. IDOT says they've asked the contractor to do as much work as they can during the day. Illinois awarding a $30 million worth of grant funds to help revitalize commercial corridors in downtown areas throughout the state. They say the grant funding used for construction, repair, and modernization of public infrastructure and amenities to boost jobs, improve quality of life, and stimulate economic activity. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, so you're telling me the farmers are planting, I think, Greg, right? I mean, they're out there and
yes, they in select areas they are, particularly the farther north and west you go, the better progress numbers so far. Of course, that's an area where the rains have been a little more manageable, if you will. So, yeah.
Well, it's that time of year. Unbelievable. We just brought in the harvest, I thought, just a minute ago. So
yeah, I know. It just seems like, just like your commentary appropriate of the pedal to the metal as in life these days.
Yeah.
The speed of which.
That's for sure. You wonder, there's things you try and really be in charge of and, really have a handle on. I don't know how as a farmer you have a handle on anything except maybe your inputs, your revenue.
No, there's a lot of strategy and moves
but
to make
weather.
decisions.
Oh, yeah.
With the weather.
No, it's a matter
that's why we're here.
Is there,
value added.
See, Soye could probably be a very successful farmer because you know the weather. So you could probably.
Christine and I have talked about that. Just, what if and this and that and that, if I could get back to where I had to do TV and someone could fly me there in a quick little plane ride. Yeah, that'd be awesome. And then try to get a little local gig going as well.
Right, exactly.
We'd be the kings, all three of us, Johnny, four of us, Diane, Johnny, you, Stevie, myself. We'd be kings of the queens as well, the universe.
If you really want to improve your numbers, kind of like a baseball hitter, move to San Diego. You pick one of the hardest places to predict weather in the world. I think.
Right. San Diego, 72 sunny. 72 sunny.
Love it when I went there.
Remember a gentleman by the name of John Coleman? He started the Weather Channel, a big guy here at the ABC station in Chicago back in the 70s. Then he went on the Weather Channel. He retired, actually, in quotes, at a station in San Diego, KUSA. Of course, Mr. Coleman has passed. But there is a range. I mean, you go into the mountain areas, the desert areas he talks about, and he would do this Solito shuffle, literally, to just kill time doing weather. He was great at it, great dancer, great voice, obviously.
Yeah.
But do the local San Diego thing, then what's going on in the mountains, the hill country, blah, 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 blah. So just as a footnote to San Diego weather out there.
I mean, even 82, 81, 82, you do but Honolulu's the same. You have a little sprinkle, and then it's,
it's like a Maytag pyramid.
Yeah, right.
But Greg's playing high
except
level.
in those coastal areas from San Francisco to San Diego, you get that. I think they call it the June swoon or something like that. The morning stratus, and it takes till the afternoon to kill off. So
no, you got it going on here in Central Illinois, where you are challenged every darn day.
You bet.
It's meteorologist Greg Solier. On Thursday, we got the big marathon. 5K tomorrow night, I think, and then all kinds of people, 10,000 runners coming in town. How do we look for our weekend, sir?
Well, so that's tomorrow night, so we'll have to keep an eye on the showers, maybe a couple of weak baby thunderstorms, but obviously it's the lightning that we keep an eye on. And for runners, the humidity, the dew points will have climbed into a marginally uncomfortable setup, but at least temperatures themselves will be somewhere into the mid to upper 70s, probably drop back a little bit as the rains move on through. Again, the best odds, unfortunately, are kind of timed out tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, and then probably right towards the end of the race, the winds will shift to the north and push some cooler air for the weekend, but we dry things out, and it looks to be just kind of a nominal, garden variety weather system. So should be able to get back at it at some point next week, dancing around scattered showers and thunderstorms, except where it's been overtly wet south and southeast of here. Maybe another challenge shaping up over there. Otherwise, let's see, 63 downtown, 60 here in Philo, Ogden, St. Joe, and 61 at Rantoul. 82 the forecast high, mostly sunny, warm. Increasing clouds tonight, maybe a shower well after midnight, down to 60. Tomorrow, variable cloudy, mild. A couple of showers and thunderstorms morning. Best coverage is in the afternoon towards early evening, and a high to about 77. Those rains will move out early tomorrow night. We bottom out in the 40s and a partly sunny, breezy, much cooler Saturday, 63. The sun is out, the wind is down, temperatures in the upper 60s. That's normal for this point in April on Sunday. Then back to the low to mid 80s we go, but scattered showers and thunderstorms Monday and Tuesday of next week. For TVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Yeah, all right. Thank you so much. We talked a little about the marathon and why would you ever run one. For me, I'm such an average athlete that to do that, in my brain, I said, if I can run a marathon, I can do X, Y, Z. Because you never know your capacity and what your true potential can be unless you push yourself, get uncomfortable a little bit.
It's an achievement, and it gives you confidence.
Yeah, it does. It's hard, and it's not anybody can do that, but it felt unbelievably great. You know what else has been weird in my life in the last 10 years is having life insurance. This is not a commercial. I'm just saying, amazing peace of mind knowing, I mean, you're good to go and Bobby's good to go if something happens to you. I think Janet's good to go if something happens to me. So, I don't know, that's weird. I never thought it would, I'm good if something happens, that the kids are going to be fine, everybody's going to be fine.
No, it's important if you pass away before you know it, before you knew it, then you do have that peace of mind knowing that could happen. But I've got people I love in shape.
Yes,
they're not
that's huge, I think.
In the street or something.
Or if you leave your family and you just, they got to get a job, they got to bury you first. And then, gosh, the stress of trying to make the rent or the mortgage is just be awful. So the least you could do, and there's a lot of people just simply, the insurance companies are very careful. Not everybody can get life insurance.
On an accounting note, it's tax-free.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Well, there you go. Anyway, you see all these ads, and John can get this for only $27 a month. Well, John's 27. He's not. They just look at a chart, right? But then they're going to want to know a little of your health and all that. They're not going to give it to you if you're going to die.
Well, there are offers for that.
I mean, immediately.
For younger people, you can say no health. You can get insurance. As you get older, you got to get the FBI and the CIA
That's right.
and everybody else.
Well, and
I don't know if I'd let him have any.
They're not excited to necessarily pay anything out, but for the long run, they see the money. It's all about
actuarial, which is just the odds of what are your chances over how many people your age we can sell this to and hopefully come out ahead. And I think they do all right.
And you know what? What is death and taxes? Who said that? Benjamin Franklin? The only two certainties in life: death and taxes.
Right.
I mean, it's just that's why. For me, it's my faith. I have peace. But it's just, if you're wrestling every day, and there's a lot of people in our country waking up wrestling every day, probably the majority. Johnny, don't you think the majority of our country wakes up with struggles, uncertainties, anxiety? They don't know, they're like a little hamster on a wheel going around and around because they can't fix this, they can't fix that. There's a peace that transcends all understanding. And for me, it's Jesus Christ. And you know what? I wanted to play this. Speaking of which, American Idol had a show on Easter. So what do they do on Easter? They turned it into a Christian music night.
Oh, nice.
Okay, I like it.
And we all like.
There's some great Christian songs.
Man.
Absolutely.
We have a Christian station, Christian FM 95.3. It's uplifting and it's encouraging, which we all need. So here's I want you to hear. This is Carrie Underwood.
Okay.
We love Carrie Underwood.
Mm-hmm.
This is Carrie Underwood on national television on ABC, right? It's on, or Fox. Whatever national network
I
it's
believe
on.
ABC.
And the crowd's going crazy. They brought in Jelly Roll, he's a man of faith.
Yep.
And Lionel Richie is hands in the air. Luke Bryan is hands in the air. I mean, it's just a wonderfully uplifting. And here's Carrie Underwood. Man, she can sing. National TV Christian night on American Idol Easter Sunday this last weekend. Well, she's good. She's a Missouri kid, lives on a farm, was discovered by American Idol. She went through the Idol thing.
I thought she was Oklahoma.
Could have been. It's somewhere in there. I thought it was Missouri. Might have been Oklahoma. Anyway, they did a little film of her because I think they had an idea she's going to be pretty good.
Right.
Larry Fredrickson, our friend's son, went through the tryouts, Drew, and you had no idea how many levels it goes before they decide that you walk out in front of the judges.
Right.
It's a long process.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I know Terry McDermott, a very good friend of ours in New Orleans, he was second.
In The Voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was The Voice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Not
this
the
is American Idol.
And I don't know how many levels he went through, but he did a great job.
I think Drew Fredrickson did 6.
That's
he was
great.
close. The only reason they didn't want him is he sounded like the previous winner.
I see.
Chris Allen,
Daughtry?
maybe? Chris Allen. Daughtry never won. He was like 5th.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Daughtry is not a winner.
Okay.
But Carrie Underwood's the biggest to come out of
Yeah.
Okay.
Certainly.
And Kelly Clarkson was pretty good.
She was
too.
good, but Carrie Underwood, she's a headliner.
Yeah,
isn't she?
that's right.
She,
For sure.
and, okay.
Kelly Clarkson's birthday today, actually.
How about that?
43.
How about that? All right, 60 seconds for a sports headline.
Thank you, Stevie. We had Atlanta over the St. Louis Cardinals 4-1. They'll start up a series tomorrow against Milwaukee.
Yeah, everybody's off
Thank
today.
You.
Everybody's off.
Well, not the White Sox. They're going to take on
Everybody's
Minnesota.
off. Everybody's off.
Poor
We
White
want to buy
Sox
best
are
base.
losing
We need to
again.
go see Jerry Reinsdorf. We can still buy the White Sox.
Well, we had our shot at the Cleveland Indians,
yeah,
which
had
are now some other
I think
name.
they've got 5 wins this season.
We'd have made
so
Ditka the
far.
manager. It would have been classic.
No, right.
Excellent.
No, that would have worked.
Yeah.
In fact, we had a text in from Andy when we were talking about Mongo passing away at the age of 67 and the Super Bowl, winner, Super Bowl 20. And if Ditka would ever come on again and speak to Steve McMichael and
Speak about him. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he loves Mongo. I mean, he loved that whole team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a special bunch of guys, the 85 Bears.
And speaking of Chicago sports, Cubs win over the Dodgers to take that series 7-6. So Cubs are on the rail. They'll be hosting Phillies tomorrow at Wrigley with a 1:20 start over on US 105.9.
Craig Counsell's the manager, $10 million a year. They hired him away from Milwaukee. Counsell's a Milwaukee kid. The people in Milwaukee weren't happy. He came an hour south to manage the Cubs, and I think he's changed the culture there. I think they believe. And so Cubs are real, man. They could win the Central Division.
We've got the NFL draft tonight. So you just don't know. I mean, starting out with the Tennessee Titans, expected to take Cam Ward from Miami.
How do those kids feel? I mean, those kids that know they're going to go high.
Right.
This is a lot of money, Johnny.
Well, I think they're already spending it. I don't even think it's any kind of.
true.
It's not like winning the lottery,
Right.
where you really don't think you're going to win.
They say the Colts have the 9th round, but could do a deal with the Bears.
Ninth
So we'll
pick?
see. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, we'll see. After the excitement of the first round, I might doze. But we'll see. Check your weather. Meteorologist Greg Solier, and we check the weather, and it's idyllic here in downtown Philo.
My goodness, so great.
Beautiful, beautiful temperatures. So here's your details on ESPN 93.5.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. The parade of weather systems on the move. One more scheduled here later on tonight and tomorrow. Up and down on temperatures continuing on, but at least a couple of days from time to time of some early summer-like warmth over parts of the area, much like today. Sunshine, light southeast wind, and readings almost early to mid-June-like at about 82 with that light southeast wind continuing on. Increasing cloudiness for tonight, mild, 60 the low. There may be a stray shower well after midnight. Cool front approaches in from the west tomorrow. A couple of outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms both morning, a break, and then back in for the afternoon up to 77. Winds will turn into the north tomorrow night. Cooler low down to 45 with an evening shower, then a partly sunny, much cooler Saturday at 63. Sunshine, lighter winds, and 67 on Sunday, back into the low and mid-80s. Monday and Tuesday, back into scattered showers and thunderstorms as well. Those will be moving out here early Wednesday and back into cooler readings the middle part of next week with highs in the upper 60s. For TVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
I'm Taylor Riggs, and this is the Fox Business Report.
New claims for unemployment benefits were little changed last week, up by a modest 6,000 at 222,000, as signed layoffs remain subdued. Continuing claims, those remaining on benefits declined to 1.84 million. Also, durable goods orders for expensive manufactured things rose 9.2% in March, a much stronger increase than forecast. The jump is related to transportation because excluding transportation, durable goods orders were flat. American Airlines says it can't predict its business for this year. Domestic travel demand declined in the recent quarter. Procter & Gamble and PepsiCo both lowered expectations for this year. PepsiCo, though, says it's expecting more demand for natural ingredients, and it's stepping up the change in its products. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda. Invested in you.
Every hour of every day, Fox News Radio is there with the latest breaking news and information you rely on.
This is a Fox News Alert.
I'm Lisa Brady.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
With Fox News correspondents around the globe.
At the White House, Simon Owen in London.
On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The news that matters most to you. The top headlines, all in one place. Listen and follow the Fox News Hourly Update at foxnewspodcasts.com or ask your smart speaker to play Fox News.
Racing, racing, racing! Farmer City Raceway is your local award-winning dirt track with exciting Friday night lights illuminating the late models and modifieds going for the checkered flag for the win. Make arrangements to get in on the camping with great price points for pit passes and young fans, as well as veterans. Friday nights, the hot laps start at 6:30, then qualifying and racing action. Don't miss out on the fun at Farmer City Raceway. For details, visit farmercityracing.com. You'll buy the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Stevie J here. With Nate Evans of eXp Realty, you'll always get a stress-free sale for the most money.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Got a plumbing, heating, cooling, electrical, or sewer problem? Look no further than Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electric. Locally owned and trusted, Fred's team of professionals is ready to tackle projects both big and small. Why waste time and money on complicated DIY fixes? Fred's experienced team will get the job done right, saving you time, stress, and cash. And when it comes to sewer problems, make sure you call Fred's for a second opinion you can trust. At Fred's, they do it all. No project too big, no project too small. They do insulation, repairs, replacement, and maintenance. And they now offer service agreements. For reliable service, professional expertise, and solutions that work, call Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electric today. 217-586-3863. Or go to fredscu.com. You can always trust Fred's.
Next week on an all-new Law & Order. Order! We convene here for case 217, Spring Green versus Weeds. Spring Green, the floor is yours. The weeds are infectious. The weeds steal the beauty from your lawn. We offer personalized lawn care, a mid-season checkup, and a simple and transparent process. Just click on to spring-green.com for a quote. Okay, Spring Green wins. Weeds, you're out. That's spring-green.com.
The University of Illinois Police Training Institute has been training police and correctional officers from across Illinois since 1955. 2025 marks the 70th year anniversary, making PTI one of the longest-running academies in the country. On June 28th at Willow Pond Golf Course in Rantoul, become a sponsor or register for the golf outing, with proceeds raised funding the first phase of the relocation plan. Learn more about the Willow Pond Golf Outing June 28th as you visit pti.illinois.edu.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
Get ready for a swinging good time at Busch Stadium. On Sunday, April 27th, when the Cardinals host the Brewers, 20,000 fans 16 and older will take home an exclusive City Connect golf umbrella, courtesy of Central Bank. This stylish umbrella features the iconic City Connect design and will have you ready for rain or shine while showing your Cardinals pride. For tickets or more details, visit cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Ozzie Smith, St. Louis Cardinals for the Loop.
Jasmine Crockett told Jimmy Kimmel that she'd really welcome a IQ test head-to-head with Donald Trump.
Oh, wow.
She also said that Elon Musk is not intelligent. Okay, he's good at hiring people, but he's not very smart.
Okay,
how could you say that? I mean, how could anybody with any reason not think Elon Musk is a generational figure?
Well,
guy's brilliant.
The girl has some issues. I don't know. I don't know her. She probably is intelligent, but she's wrong about everything. She says you can be intelligent and simply have bad information.
Well, Jesse Waters last night had text come in and said, have her, because she said, Jasmine Crockett, want to be an anesthesiologist. And the texter texted in, have her spell it. Well, I couldn't spell anesthesiologist. So I don't know.
And maybe I'm a little paranoid in that area, but there you go. What if someone like her did give me anesthesia?
Yeah, well.
Oh, my goodness.
And then AOC, could AOC really challenge Chuck Schumer in the New York primary? They're talking about getting rid of the old guard. Dick Durbin stepping down yesterday.
Yes,
not running again. He's 80.
So I think the progressive candidates like AOC are going to struggle against a you said Rahm Emanuel, Harold Ford Jr. type. I really do.
Because I don't think Rahm Emanuel and Harold Ford Jr. are close philosophically.
They're acting like moderates.
Okay.
They seem
I think Harold's a moderate.
He is a moderate.
Yeah.
Rahm isn't. Doesn't matter because you just can't study that. Yeah. It's what the image is. And so Schumer doesn't have quite that. They're tired of him. He's been around forever. We're tired of the people been around forever.
Yeah.
And but he's got that legacy.
How old is Chuck Schumer?
I don't know.
He's not as old as I thought. He's like class of 70 or 71. He's like 73.
Okay.
Is Chuck Schumer only? He looks 80. But, I mean, I don't think he is. I think Chuck Schumer's... I was shocked. I thought he was 83.
If you had to deal with the AOC, you'd look 82, I guarantee you.
Say anything there? How old is Chuck Schumer?
74.
Wow.
Okay.
I thought he was older. Mm-hmm. All right, Tim Onstad, he's a pitmaster. He's going to talk about sauces. What do you put in the sauces to really jumpstart whatever the meat you're doing? He knows it all. He's an encyclopedia of knowledge and good guy. So he's
By the way, Dick Cheney is 84, looks like.
Yep, I would guess that.
Okay.
So it's 8:28 in Champaign-Urbana and downtown Philo. Be right back.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
All right, Tim Onstad, tell me how you're doing at Dedicated Diesel and the Dixie Chopper. You have any late model deals here I can make?
Yeah, there are fall deals on everything. We've got 3 or 4 used machines in there that Andy's looking to get rid of. We still have some new models, very few, limited of those, but those are going to be at the lowest prices that you can get. If you give us a price and it's close to what our dealer invoice is, he'll go for it.
Okay.
We'll do that and get rid of it.
Good time to buy then.
It's a great time to buy. Best prices you can get, and if you need service, now's the time to bring them in to get them serviced and get ahead of the rush and get ready for spring.
Gail Frericks Trucking, can people apply just to give you a resume?
We actually are starting a waiting list now for drivers for our regional van over the road. We've got a good group right now, and we're blessed with it.
What's the location?
1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana. You can get Andy at 217-328-0562. They can reach me at the office at 765-793-7131.
News. I'm Therese Crowley. A big ask for Ukraine. Give up 20% of their land to the Russian invasion plus Crimea. President Trump says.
I think we have a deal with Russia. We have to get a deal with Zelensky.
But Ukraine balking at giving up Crimea, and then Russian rained down missiles on Kyiv overnight. President Trump posting, Vladimir, stop. 5,000 soldiers a week are dying. Let's get the peace deal done. President Trump hosting Norway's prime minister today to talk about European peacekeeping, trade, and tariffs. Fox News poll on its first 100 days shows only a third support the Trump tariffs, still worried about inflation. But the president posted gas and grocery prices are way down. Eggs down 87%. Nice. Densely populated New Jersey is still battling the Ocean County wildfire, but over 13,000 acres burned are mostly in the Pinelands, a wildlands urban interface. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Well, Illinois awarding $30 million worth of grant funds to help revitalize commercial corridors and downtown areas throughout the state. They say the grant funding used for construction, repair, and the modernization of public infrastructure and amenities to boost jobs, quality of life, and stimulate economic activity. Police investigating after an Urbana man found beaten in Champaign. He was found lying in the roadway in the 2500 block of West Springfield Avenue, then taken to the hospital in stable condition. Police believe an unknown person battered the victim, then fled before officers arrived. So far, no arrests have been made. Champaign City Council just gave the green light to buy Chase Bank in downtown Champaign. The price tag, just under $6 million. City leaders say the current city building overcrowded. Some employees are working in departments that aren't theirs. Deal includes about $3 million for the building, $25,000 in closing costs, and almost $3 million in renovations. And that's what's happening. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana vicinity, the parade of weather systems on the move. One more scheduled here later on tonight and tomorrow. Up and down on temperatures continuing on, but at least a couple of days from time to time of some early summer-like warmth over parts of the area, much like today. Sunshine, light southeast wind, and readings almost early to mid-June-like at about 82 with that light southeast wind continuing on. Increasing cloudiness for tonight, mild, 60 the low. There may be a stray shower well after midnight. Cool front approaches in from the west West tomorrow. A couple of outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms both morning, a break, and then back in for the afternoon, up to 77. Winds will turn into the north tomorrow night. Cooler low down to 45 with an evening shower, then a partly sunny, much cooler Saturday at 63. Sunshine, lighter winds, and 67 on Sunday, back into the low and mid-80s. Monday and Tuesday, back into scattered showers and thunderstorms as well. Those will be moving out here early Wednesday and back into cooler readings the middle part of next week with highs in the upper 60s. For TVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
And now, a brand new show called Smoke, where we help you with your grill and making the best meat ever. With award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstadt. Smoke in Tim's Grill. He's the best brisket maker ever. Smoke in Tim's Grill. And now award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstadt. Yeah, Brother Johnny's got a bolt, but he did want to say hi to you. And, yeah.
Yeah, what's cooking, Tim? What's cooking?
Hey, my biggest fan, Brother Johnny.
That's right, sir. Man, I'll tell you.
On the way in here this morning, I was thinking about your Thursday lineup, and it kind of reminded me of Sesame Street. One of these things doesn't belong. One of these things isn't the same. You got the legend, John Decker. You got the legacy, Nathaniel Son, and then the lackey, me.
No, I think you're right.
One of these things is not like the other. Which one do you think
Tim,
it is?
You just gave me an idea. We should apply for $20 million for Sesame Street.
Boom. Let's go. They're doing it in Iraq. We can do it here.
There we go.
We got it.
We'll all split it, Tim.
So when Johnny met you at the tailgate this last football season, he and I were professional grazers, where you kind of grab a little and walk away and grab a little.
I almost missed the game.
He grazed like crazy because he said, I've never had meat this good.
Well, that's not entirely accurate because he came in the station before that and I'd never had meat that good.
Yep.
And then you said you're going, wait a minute, that Tim, the guy that, well, I'm going to say hi. I got to say hi anyway.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then you had some brisket. I think you even had a piece of his rib, which is amazing.
Whatever.
But the brisket is what you said you'd never, ever. I guess you had brisket here at the studio then.
Yes.
No, Tim's got it going on. That's why we like having him on, because he started as a Effingham Flaming Heart. I mean, he didn't know anything about barbecue, and he'd learned like unbelievable, and then entered these national contests. They got a perfect score on a brisket to win a championship. What the heck?
No, I'll tell you.
Who does that?
We just found my passion at 52 years old, and we just enjoy cooking. I like to, it's cliche, but I like people to enjoy the food, and that's why we do it.
Well, you're awfully good
what
at
year?
it, so.
What year in high school did you graduate, Tim? Because I was a big
82.
82. Oh, the big Flaming Heart undefeated team.
Right.
That I was a big fan of the Flaming Hearts.
It was
early 70s.
Yeah.
It was a pole
It might have been late
wasn't it?
60s, actually.
The what?
Were you a pole vaulter? High jumper.
High jumper. He jumped like 6'11".
Come on, man.
Tim was one of the top teenage high jumpers in America.
I can do that. You mean jump up and touch 6'11"?
No, he's talking about jumping over 6'11". That's crazy.
Well, I heard you say earlier Johnny was a 4'6" 40 guy.
Yeah.
Well, I was only a 4'7" 40 guy, but I've got a lot more stuff to get moving.
I got to tell you,
Johnny doesn't have as much stuff as I do.
I wasn't going to mention that again because if I was a 4'7", I was probably 4'7". I've had a 4'6" if I had a breeze at the back.
There you go. Breeze at the back.
Pretty fancy.
But I had about a 4'2" extrapolated 40 in the first 20, which means I could get open.
Yeah,
That's
you
something
could.
I could do.
He was always open. He had an amazing
The
knack.
first 20, I don't think anybody could beat.
But you could catch the football. I mean, there was.
It's the only bad thing is the guys would come at 100 mile an hour and hit me. I'm glad I'm still here, Tim.
Yeah, right.
I don't know why didn't I pick wrestling? Why? They're my own size.
Yeah,
There you go.
You'd have been a good wrestler. You'd have been a really good wrestler. All right, Johnny, we appreciate you coming by.
All right, good talking to you, Tim. I'll get the tips later from Diane.
Yeah.
She'll be
go.
taking notes.
I will.
Have a great day.
All right, so saucing, man. You've got some sauces. That's
I'm
huge.
a big fan of sauces.
Oh, and if they're good, they're real good. You can put about any meat under a sauce.
A few weeks ago, Diane was in Memphis, where there is such a thing called the dry rub, dry ribs.
At the Rendezvous.
I've been to Rendezvous. I've tried them. Not a big fan.
Oh.
I'm a sauce guy.
Mm-hmm.
But, you can go without sauce. That's been proven. But there's basically 5 different types of barbecue sauce. You got your tomato-based, vinegar-based, mustard-based, mayonnaise-based, and then there's a little pocket in Kentucky that does a Worcestershire sauce-based barbecue sauce. And that's not hugely popular, but Worcestershire, you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. Yep, can't spell that either.
It's an additive we put in other sauces to bring out a little bit of bold, sweet taste. But first of all, there's barbecue is subjective, so it's whatever you like.
Mm-hmm.
And I encourage people to go and experiment. Now, what we do, we found a good middle-of-the-road base sauce that's not offensive in either direction, sweet, tangy, tart, whatever. It's just a good, solid base sauce, and that's Blues Hog. I don't get paid by them. I don't get anything from them. It's just the truth. It's just a good base sauce.
Blue Hog is available, I think, at grocery stores, aren't they?
Yes, yeah, you can get it
Yep,
at...
I've seen it.
It's one of Walmart's 400 listed sauces on their website, which is actually true. There are 400 barbecue sauces available from Walmart.
Blue Hog, I got it.
But what we do is then for each flavor profile that we're looking for the different meats, we're going to put additives in. We're going to blend in honey. We're going to blend in some additional sugar, some fruit juices. If we're going for something sweet with ribs, we might go with a peach nectar at some competitions in the South because they like that peach flavor with their pork. There's a couple of main things when you're picking out your base sauce that you want to stay away from. And that is the fake liquid smoke. If you want liquid smoke barbecue sauce, go buy you some Sweet Baby Ray's or something.
Yeah,
it's
right.
And then high fructose corn syrup. We want real sugar. And as an additive in some of the sauces, we'll use turbinado sugar that's a raw sugar and simmer that down and get it mixed in real well. But when you're blending a sauce, you start with that. We use a couple of different sauces, too. We'll put some Tuffy Stones in with some Blues Hog, mix it 2 cups of Blues Hog, 1 cup Tuffy Stone, then put all that other stuff in there. Until we get the flavor profile that we want. And you can also use some cayenne pepper to turn up the heat a little bit if you want, some other kinds of peppers. But, what we're looking for, and it depends on where we're cooking. Up here, we're staying mostly on the Kansas City, St. Louis side of sweet and tangy. A little bit of savory in there. If we're going south into Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, we'll do a little more tangy stuff with a little more vinegar based, a little apple cider vinegar in our Blues Hog, and simmer that down. That goes real well down there. But yeah, it's all subjective.
Yep.
You can flavor, the term you see in all the recipes, season to taste. Well, that's what it's there for. You season that however you like it, however your family or your friends, whoever you're cooking for, wants. And that's the hard part about cooking for a big group, like at a wedding or whatever. You're trying to appeal to the taste of everybody, so you're not going to be wanting to be real offensive to the heat side or the sweet side. You want to keep it as middle of the road as you can, but still get those flavors in there that people can pull those distinct portions of it out when they're tasting it.
Love it. Okay, Blue Hog, it's a starter, and then we could play with it from there. So, yeah, I love sauces, no doubt. Well, what am I doing at Dedicated Diesel, home of the Dixie Chopper? It is mowing season, my friend.
Is.
Wow.
Well, it's selling season. We're ready to make some deals, get over there and see Andy and give him your best deal and give him your best price of what you want to pay, and he'll work like a dog to get what you want to do. And we'll get as close as we can. We'll dig in and get all the Dixie Chopper discounts for first responders, military. whatever, we'll help you out and get those as much as we can.
All right.
For those new to the commercial mower, what are some of the amenities to having a mower like that?
With Dixie Chopper, it's power and speed, and you get your lifetime drivetrain warranty, and with your forks and all of that stuff, the stuff that could go wrong but shouldn't, we'll warranty that, and you get a bumper-to-bumper 2-year warranty, I believe, with all the new models, and you're just good to go. And Andy can service them. He can do everything that needs to be done.
Yep, and that's the big key there. The big box stores, mowers are sitting outside.
Yeah.
You go to Andy with your Dixie
sometimes you have to
Chopper.
put them together. And all
Oh,
that,
boy.
too.
So he'll take care of it. You got to have a guy, and Andy could be your guy. How about Gail Ferrick's Trucking? How's their driver situation?
Yeah, Diane's right. You don't have to put together a Dixie Chopper.
Yeah,
It
that's
comes
right. That's
pre-assembled.
right. Yes, sir.
Gail Ferrick's Trucking, we're running hot and heavy. We've got I keep hearing Donna running the operations in there saying, I'm overbooked. She's got more freight than she can handle. So if there's any drivers out there want to get in the truck and work with some good people that will tell you the truth, and that's one of the things Donna has us saying. She's going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
Yeah,
so we're not
right.
just sitting here filling people with fantasies. It's the truth. It's how the business works. And you get the straight story, because most people, if they know what they're dealing with, can handle it. But it's getting the lied to, I guess, is just the blunt term that causes problems.
Well,
And
family
that doesn't
operation,
happen out here.
home-owned weekends. You guys treat your drivers like gold, and always looking for talent. How can people connect with Tim Onstadt?
They can get me at email at timo@gftlog.com. They can call 765-793-7131, and we'll get you set up and hooked up.
You're the man. Always a pleasure, Tim. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Tim Onstadt. You can always call us, text us if you'd like information on what we just said. With phone numbers, emails, we have that. Just Fisher National Bank text line 217-359-2255, 9:15.
A pumpkin coach, a glass slipper, and a fairy godmother. It's Champaign-Urbana Ballet's Cinderella, May 2nd and 3rd. The timeless story set magically on stage at the Virginia Theater, downtown Champaign. Sponsored by Area Wide Technologies, the Bill Bass Foundation, Champaign Ballet Academy, Stone Ridge Dairy, and Two Men and a Truck. For tickets to CU Ballet's Cinderella, May 2nd and 3rd, call the Virginia Theater box office or visit thevirginia.org.
Attention drivers. When it comes to your car, trust matters. That's why savvy drivers choose PDR Automotive for top-notch service and unbeatable quality. From routine maintenance to complex repairs, their team of expert technicians has the skill and experience to keep your vehicle running smoothly. At PDR Automotive, customer satisfaction is their priority, and they won't rest until your car is back on the road performing at its best. Visit PDR Automotive in Urbana today, family-owned and operated for more than 50 years. They're what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
We're talking to John Reichert from A&R Mechanical. 100 years in our community. So many buildings in this town, like Memorial Stadium. Of course, the State Farm Center. Can you remember the reaction from the company getting that? Because that's a big one.
Oh, that was huge. If you just think about it a little bit, everything we put in is straight, pipe is straight. We're putting all that into a round building. And, it took a lot of know-how to make that project happen. It was one of the first projects we did using our new technologies, and the timing was just right. We were the right people for that project, and I think we did it successfully.
The legacy of A&R. John, I could almost say, what haven't you built? Up and down campus, the Siebel Center was fairly new for computer science.
Everybody was working as a team, and I think it came out very well.
A&R Mechanical has helped build Carl at the Fields expansion and other Carl projects in Provena and Sarah Bush Lincoln. The list goes on and on. Visit them at ar-mech.com.
It's great when hard work and experience are recognized. Hi, this is Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank. I am thrilled to share that Fisher National has been ranked 7th in the nation as a top lender in mortgage loans among banks with asset size of $300 million to $1 billion by our National Banking Association. This recognition is a testament to our lending team's dedication and expertise. After all, better banking experiences start with local people and local decision making. If you're in the market for a new home or considering refinancing your existing home, let our team at Fisher National Bank earn your business and trust. We offer competitive rates with low closing costs, and we locally service almost all of our loans. Come see us with all your home mortgage needs and experience the top-notch service that has earned us national recognition. Learn more at fishernational.com or stop by one of our branches today.
Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Jets is hiring. Call 217-352-9992 or stop into 1907 West Springfield Avenue near Round Barn in Champaign. Jets is open till 10 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays till midnight. Are you looking for a side hustle? Here's Josh from Jets talking about the benefits of doing deliveries.
When I was a delivery driver, it was amazing how much the actual amount of money I had just shot right up. It's hard to describe. You have money in your pocket every single day.
For details on joining the team, visit jetspizza.com.
All right, check your sports headlines, Diane.
Atlanta beat the Cardinals yesterday. They've got a series starting up down at Busch tomorrow with Milwaukee with a 7:15 start tomorrow here on ESPN 93.5. Cubs took the LA Dodgers to take that series. 7-6 was the final. They've got the Phillies in a day game tomorrow starting at 1:20 over on US 105.9. Minnesota over the Chicago White Sox 6-3. They'll finish that series with a 12:10 start and then start up a series against the A's on Friday. When it comes to Illinois softball, beating NIU 9-2 yesterday. And we also have Illinois golf that was selected as an 8 seed. They'll begin that in May, which is next week in Columbus on the NCAA tournament. So go Illini.
Hi, I'm Troy Lands from Lands Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Underground Solutions. Are you tired of dealing with leaky faucets, basement flooding, bursting or leaking pipes? From plumbing maintenance and repairs to installing new water heaters and sump pumps, our goal is to get you up and running as soon as possible. At Lands Plumbing, we have 24/7 emergency service and a team of highly skilled professionals that will work with you to get the job done right the first time. I'm Troy Lands. You can count on my company because you can count on me.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois. Champaign-Urbana is Saturday. Nice spell of weather ahead for the day today. Next weather system on the move for the day tomorrow brings down markedly cooler air on Saturday. Back to seasonal norms on Sunday. Another big warm-up at least into the first part of next week, and more rain in the forecast as well. Mostly sunny, warm for the day today. Matter of fact, early summer-like highs at 82. A little bit of a boost on humidity and dew points as well with a light southeast wind. Increasing cloudiness for tonight. Mild. A shower breaks out well after midnight. Low down to to 60. Light south wind. Tomorrow, variable cloudiness, mild, a couple of showers and thunderstorms both morning and afternoon. Highs up to 77 and a gusty southwest wind. Showers move out early tomorrow night. Turns breezy, much cooler, low down to 45, and a partly sunny, much cooler day on Saturday at 63, but back up with sunshine and 67 on Sunday. Into the lower and middle 80s Monday and Tuesday. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, and another cool-off slated the middle part of next week, with daytime readings back down into the 60s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Are you ready to upgrade your home this spring? Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing has got the sale for you. Offering a free water heater with the purchase of a new HVAC system. Or 60 months, 0% interest on financing for a new HVAC system. It's the biggest sale of the year. Call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing at 217-841-4728. Get a free quote for your home today. It's 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
What is most important in your life? This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Whether you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that can help clients like you realize your goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Attention all truck drivers looking for a new opportunity with great pay and amazing benefits. Gale Frericks Trucking has got you covered. Join their team, receive a $4,000 sign-on bonus. That's right, $4,000 just for coming on board. Plus, enjoy a $1,200 gross weekly pay guarantee. Drive their state-of-the-art Freightliner Cascadia trucks equipped with a revolutionary system designed to reduce weight and downtime. Get home every weekend and some nights during the week with paid vacations and holidays. They offer company-sponsored health insurance and all the benefits you deserve. Regional drivers get first priority. Don't wait. Apply in person at Dedicated Diesel, 1313 Triumph Drive, Urbana, or call Tim at 765-505-1295. That's 765-505-1295. Start your journey today with Gale Frericks Trucking. All right, Diane. Have a good one.
Enjoy the day.
That's Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie J. Have a great Thursday.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people.
Norm Miller here, chairman of Interstate Batteries. You know, without batteries, life would be pretty lifeless. That's why Interstate All Battery Centers carry them in every size, shape, and style so you can drive, drill, call, film, or do whatever it is you want to do. Stop in today. They've got the power to keep you going. Interstate All Battery Center. Outrageously dependable.
Interstate All Battery Center. You'll find them outrageously dependable just over Interstate 74 at 2504 North Mattis Avenue in Champaign, with batteries for most every application in stock.
Hark, there be a barge of overseas appliances, overpriced tariff-laden goods. Unload quick! We don't have any other choice but to pay the high prices.
Sure we do.
Well, if my eyes don't deceive me, it be Pa Rican from Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. What speak ye about saving money?
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, you don't need to worry about overpriced tariff goods. We are stocked with pre-tariff inventory.
You don't need me overpriced appliances from overseas?
Nope, we're good. We even have Speed Queen in stock made right here in the good old Midwest.
You want none of it?
We have 2 warehouses full of pre-tariff inventory and a service department to repair your existing appliance if you want to save even more money instead of buying new.
Well, I'll be. Can I interest ye in me lobster bisque?
Well, it is 9 a.m.
You got to try me lobster bisque.
Okay, all right, I'll get some to go. Take credit card?
With a 5% service charge and sign here for a minimum 30% tip.
Wow. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Sarah Champagne's Ben Quattrone on keeping his employees.
It's got to be the place to work. We have to pay the best. We have to treat people the best. Some of the guys wanted to order pizza the other day. Well, we bought 30 Papa Del's pizzas. BMW had the best month they've ever had. They said, can we have a cookout? Saturday, I cooked like 50 ribeye steaks. And they were expecting like burgers and hot dogs and stuff. Like, if I'm eating steak, you're eating steak. We both eat steak, we both eat hamburger.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com. Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he has a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
Tim Culver, owner and president of Classic Plumbing and Air.
A plumber is a person that is well-rounded. They have education, they have experience, and they are versed in more than only one phase of plumbing. A plumber is someone that has experience in all three phases, and they understand how all three of these plumbing aspects work together as well.
Was in the heating and air conditioning business for approximately 30 years, and then